Hello, Degens. Welcome to Degenerate Takes NFL Week 12, Part 2. I am the Brofect one, AJ, and with me, as always, is the one who knows everything, all the stats, all the numbers, Mr. Noah Engelbretson. Noah, how the hell you doing today? Well, Part 2,
I'm
how the hell you doing today?
I'm still great, AJ. Nothing has changed.
Dude, glad to hear nothing has changed, even though we are about to get into the second part of the NFL slate. Some games that pissed me off, some games that pissed you off, and just general bullshittery around the NFL. Let's get right back into it with the Titans visiting the Patriots. Final score 13-36. No, I hate to say it. Well, before I get into my Patriots talk, shout out Mike Vrabel having the angriest challenge flag ever thrown. Because let me tell you, I have never seen anyone with so much gusto, so much anger towards a referee throw a flag. I'm honestly shocked he didn't just throw it in his face, but he probably would have gotten a penalty for taunting or some bullshit like that. But neither here or there. Angriest flag ever thrown. Noah, what are your thoughts on this game? Because I fear for the worst, honestly.
the Titans feel like they're slumping a little bit
Yep.
right now. Um, they looked really hot, had a really good stretch, like a really good 5-6 win streak that they ripped off, and now they feel like they're slumping a little bit, and got bailed out by the Colts losing. They retain their game. I guess you could call it two because they have tiebreaker over the Colts for
Yeah.
beating them twice. But I do still think the Titans are going to win this division, but they got to figure it out. They got to figure it out because right now they do not. A couple weeks ago I was like, oh, this is probably the team to beat in the AFC, and now I'm kind of shifting gears on that, and they look like they're a team that's maybe going to struggle to win more than a game in the playoffs.
It
Although
does really seem like that.
I don't even know what to expect in the AFC after this. After this week, I guess probably the Patriots have to be my favorite in the AFC.
They have to be. And I feel like the only thing that got
Or
clear this week was
or
the NFC, not the AFC. The AFC got more muddy.
or don't forget about the fucking Kansas City Chiefs. I know they didn't play this
True, they
week,
had a
but
bye week.
if they can figure out their identity and shit by the time playoffs roll around, they're a team to watch out for. I mean, we'll see, but yeah, the Patriots definitely looking strong. Bill Belichick has this has this team back to what we typically expect from the Patriots.
It's
Um,
unbelievable. Unbelievable how fast he turned that shit around.
I still will not jump on the Mac Jones train
Oh,
yet.
chew! Chew! All aboard the Mac Jones train slash bandwagon, bro. I'm all over it, dude. I will be the conductor. I will be the
No,
caboose. I don't give a shit, dude. I will lead
I
that
think
Mac Jones bandwagon.
I think there's a good 20 starting quarterbacks in the NFL that could be doing exactly what he's doing, if not doing better. But
Don't disagree with
um,
you, but he's the cheap one right now.
yep, and God, that defense looks really good, really suffocating. They got the run game going.
I
Yeah, the
think that
Patriots are not a super exciting team to watch, but
no,
man,
never.
they're this is like I said, this is classic Patriots football is what they're playing, and um, what have I been saying? Last year you had all those opt outs and shit. COVID was weird. Belichick is still the goat, coach wise, and he's proven it. Like
Yeah,
he can just scrap together whatever. I mean, who the fuck do they even have on offense?
couldn't tell you if I tried.
it's
Couldn't tell you if I tried. Does
but
Julian
they're
Edelman still play?
no. But I would you have fucking Kendrick Bourne going for 80 some yards and 2 touchdowns today in pass game, and this is classic Patriots football that we're seeing,
Classic.
and what that means is this is a dangerous team.
Oh, absolutely. Very dangerous. Patriots are all the way back. Simple as that. Mac Jones, He shows very much the traits of Tom Brady, and I think the difference between him and Tom Brady is that he comes from Nick Saban, that next man up, all for the team, everything like that. I don't think Belichick's gonna have a problem signing him to lower deals than he's worth once he's off his rookie deal. But that'll be a conversation we talk about in a couple of years, and I can't wait to talk about it. Let's move on to. I hate this game. These next 4 games, I hate Noah, but we're gonna talk about them because we have to. Eagles Giants, the fuck, dude. Giants
This
winning
game,
13 to 7.
this game
How?
was so bad. This game was so
How?
bad on so many
How?
fronts.
How? How are we sitting here and this is the score, dude? What happened?
I don't know, but I do know Jalen Rager dropped back-to-back game-winning touchdown catches
Oh yeah, you gotta love
at the
that.
end of the game.
Yep.
Fucking idiot. Um, I just God, they're and these are two teams that are right in the hunt in the NFC for a wild card spot. And you know, the NFC, it is what it is. You got your top like 5 teams that are really, really good. And whoever gets that 6 and that 7 seed, there's like a good 6 teams that are contending for it.
Yeah.
There's a huge drop off between the top 5. You got the Packers, Cardinals, Rams, Buccaneers, and
Cardinals, Packers,
prob in the
Rams.
Cowboys. In the Cowboys, I guess you'd include in that conversation.
Yeah.
But there is a big drop off after the Cowboys, who I would put as number 5 probably. So somebody's going to get home field in that bye. Whoever ends up in the 4 seed is going to have a very, very tough first round playoff matchup.
Very tough.
Probably, which most likely they're going to be they're going to have to play either the Cardinals or the Rams in the first round of the playoffs. Not a fun matchup for a first round game. But whoever gets that 2 and the 3 seed, they should have pretty favorable matchup in the first round at the very least.
They hope. They hope, Noah.
I mean, the fact
Anyway,
that the Eagles and the Giants are 1 game out of wild card right now. The fucking Giants are a game out of a wild card spot right now.
it's stupid. It's a stupid time we live in. Continuing on to this stupidity, Falcons beat the Jaguars 21 to 14. Jaguars did not stand a chance. Matty Ice showed up. That's all I got to say.
Falcons, another team who's right there in that wild card race for the 6 and the 7 spot in the NFC.
Yeah,
And
just right in there.
this Falcons team sucks, but they're also like a game out of the wild card. I mean,
Unbelievable.
I
NFC
got
is
nothing else to
dumb.
say about that. I mean, Jacksonville still sucks despite their somehow finding a way to win 2 games. But yeah, the Falcons are not good, but they're gonna have a chance to potentially snag a playoff spot. I don't know. We'll see. I think they got 2 games against Tampa Bay coming up, or
Yeah,
one more at least. But
that's going to be rough.
not a team I have a lot of faith in. It'd be kind of funny to see them make the playoffs because somebody's gonna get a really fucking easy playoff matchup if that's the case.
And hey, good on them. Good on them. All right, Noah. I was very happy about this next game. This is about our boy, Zach freaking Wilson, getting a W in Texas at the Texans. 21 to 14 final score. Zach Wilson. What else do I got to say?
Yeah, and I think after this one, we can determine that the Jets are better with Zach Wilson than without. Fuck
We
all this
can
Mike
officially.
White. Fuck all this Mike White hype. That dude's not
Dude,
good. He had
seriously,
one good
not
game.
good at all.
Jets 1-4 in the 5 game stretch that Wilson's been injured. Now 2-4 with Wilson starting. So I'm fully on it. I did say the Jets would win like 6 games this year. That might have been a little over aggressive, but they got a couple other shitty teams down the stretch. They could still pop off 5 wins, maybe 6. So we'll see. I don't think the Jets are. They're certainly not the worst team in the league.
No, not by a long shot.
I would argue they might not even be bottom five. They might be just outside of that bottom five.
Oh, wow.
But I am a little overhyped on the Jets compared to most people, so we'll
I
see.
love it, dude.
I mean, I think they're a capable team. They can win some games.
They most definitely can, and they have proven that they can. They're 3-8. They can win 3 games so far. So let's hope Zach freaking Wilson can keep it rolling, keep it rocking. Teams, we're gonna continue with teams that we know nothing about, dude, because we just don't know anything, bro. We don't. We're talking about the Chargers at Broncos. Broncos beating the Chargers 28-13. I mean, okay, I guess, sure, why not?
Yeah, I mean, both teams now 6-5. Uh, Herbert had an awful game.
Just terrible.
Um, I don't know. The Broncos are not looking terrible. Now have the AFC West. Every team over 500. You got Chiefs at 7-4, and then you get the Chargers, Broncos, and Raiders all at 6-5.
Jeez.
I did say 3 teams from this division would make the playoffs.
You did.
The AFC North obviously looking strong. Now with Miami ripping off 4 in a row, the AFC East not looking too bad. The AFC is still completely wide open for pretty much anybody, other than Houston, Jacksonville, and the Jets.
Yeah.
Probably the only 3 teams in the AFC that I would rule out at this point. But yeah, you got a solid 9 teams that are still very relevant there. And nobody's running away with any of these divisions other than, Tennessee's got the biggest lead, and they're got 2 games on the Colts, which, as hot as the Colts have been, I'd be a little nervous if I'm them. But
Same.
like I said in our last episode, Titans do have the tiebreaker with the 2 wins over the Colts, so I wouldn't be too worried if I'm them. They really have to melt down to lose that. But AFC definitely muddy waters. I have no idea what to expect with 5 weeks left, 6 weeks left in the season.
No, 100%, and it'll be an onslaught as it goes on. I really have nothing to say about this game. Didn't really get to watch it. From the highlights I saw, from the stat lines I saw Herbert not impressive whatsoever. Teddy Two Gloves, though, seemed to be doing good. He got injured in this game, didn't he?
Not that I saw, but I was not watching, so
I might have been thinking about someone else, but I'll circle back to that later. Now, Noah, let's get to the game that you're dying to talk about because you're wearing the shirt, and it was a hell of a game.
Yes, he did get injured. Drew Lock came in, was 4 of 7 for 26 and a pick. Gave the Chargers a little bit of life, but it wasn't enough.
I'm mid. Beautiful intro talking about how your Green Bay Packers just wrecked the Los Angeles Rams, and you cut me off with a Drew Lock stat.
Well, it's okay. You can repeat the fact that the Packers are the greatest team in football, but
okay, so the only reason why they might be ranked number 1 this week in power rankings is because the Cardinals didn't play. That's a conversation for later. But
who won that game?
Packers Rams just falling to the Packers 36-28. Rodgers looks like Rodgers. I mean, at Lambeau, and you're giving the Packers points. I don't know what anyone was thinking whatsoever. So, I mean, it was the Packers being the Packers. I really have nothing else to say. Aaron Jones looked really, really good. Just a monster.
AJ Dillon looked really good. Jones didn't get a whole lot going.
Dylan, my bad. Dylan being a monster, receiving core doing what they do. Rodgers doing what he does. Should have gotten a couple calls that he argued. I agreed with that. Reffing lately has just been sketch, but I guess that's the NFL. Still hype on this Packers team, even at 9-3. They should probably be 10-2, but that's a conversation for later as well. I'm hype if I'm a Packers fan. I know you have to be hype, Noah. This Packers team is looking good, poised to make a really deep playoff run.
Well, yeah, I mean, you take away a couple dropped interceptions against the Vikings and, that Chiefs game that they had no business losing.
Yeah.
Obviously, circumstances helped lead to that. This Packers team could very well be 11-1 right now. And in unconventional the Packers style, defense has been kind of leading the way most of the year.
Yeah, really, though.
A couple turnovers forced against the Rams today. Pick 6 for Rasul Douglas. Could have been 2, but his eyes got too big and he fucking just took one off the chest plate with literally like 2 or 3 plays after he just returned one for a pick 6. This score does not reflect how dominant the Packers were in this game. This was not an 8-point game. This was could have easily been more. The Packers could have put up 45-50 in this game if they cleaned a couple things up on offense. This was just really fun game to watch. You can take the Stafford out of the Lions, but you can't take the Lions out of the Stafford.
You really can't. You really can't, dude. He just loves losing to the Packers.
Yeah, overall, he had a pretty decent game. 302, 3 tutties and an interception and a lost fumble. But my biggest takeaway is Davante Adams getting the better of Jalen Ramsey, going 8 for 104 yards. This is the 3rd time Adams has gone against Ramsey. Adams has had a great game all 3 times he's faced Jalen Ramsey, who a lot of people would consider the best cornerback in the league. And, he has not been able to weather the Davante Adams storm.
No.
Any time that he has faced him.
Not even a little bit, bro. It's terrible.
And Davante has, in none of those games, has gotten out to big breakaway plays, but it's the consistent beating him on short routes and medium routes, and that's I take a lot of joy in that. My favorite is on Twitter. Everyone's all the shit where it's people tweeting at Jalen Ramsey, and it's like pictures of Davante Adams, and they'd be like, at Jalen Ramsey, this is your father. I don't know. I know you're going to disagree because you probably think it's D-Hop, but Davante Adams, best receiver in the league.
I really think it's a 1A, 1B situation.
They're different type receivers.
Different types of receivers, absolutely.
So they'll obviously both, they'll thrive against different types of DBs that they go against. I would say D-Hop's got the better hands, but Adams' route running and separation that he gets is better than D-Hop.
I will say this about the Cardinals.
If I have to throw a jump ball to one of them, I'm taking D-Hop. But
yes,
if I'm taking an every down receiver, I'm taking Adams.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, honest to God, the original fuck it Tyreek's there is Larry Fitzgerald throughout his career. You just throw the ball within 15 yards of him, and he somehow catches the ball. That was the first ever really fuck it Tyreek's there. Hey, Larry's out there somewhere. If I throw the ball in his vicinity, he's going to catch the ball. That's why he has the longest active streak of a player catching a reception per game. Unbelievable. Shout out, Larry. Please come back for this playoff run.
I also, got mixed feelings about Rodgers as a, person, whatever, but
yeah, you're wrong, but
the fact that the dude has practiced with the team one day over the last 3 weeks, and he has had 2 just tremendous performances. I don't know how you can't say that Aaron Rodgers is the most talented quarterback
He's
like
unbelievable.
ever to play, because the dude doesn't even need to practice.
No, he just shows
He
up.
just fuck it. They should just Rodgers should just sit out practice every week, because he's had two of his best games of the season from after not practicing.
Yeah, but then he would end up playing more years, and the Packers would have to pay him, and that's a whole other issue that we will get into on a future episode.
Well, clearly money's not real. If you look at the Rams, I mean, I don't know how they're affording to pay everybody that's on their salary, but
Well, because the Browns are eating OBJ, some of the Broncos are eating Von Miller. Makes sense, but
I do have one last thought on this game, and it doesn't
okay.
pertain to either team. It is holy fuck, Troy Aikman is the biggest dumbass on television.
Oh my god, dude, I couldn't.
I should have been writing down every single dumb thing he said today, and I would have had a whole fucking novel to publish.
Honestly, bro. Honestly, it's just terrible.
Starting off with early in the first quarter, he was talking about the Rams losing Robert Woods, to a torn ACL or whatever it was, out for the
Big
season.
Loss.
But Troy Aikman called Robert Woods a top 3 receiver in the NFL.
Ooh, wouldn't go that
I'm
far.
like, first off, bad take. Second off, you listen to him throughout the game. I don't know how he played quarterback for this many years in the NFL and still doesn't understand football, which is clearly why he's in commentary and not a coach anywhere, coaching anything, because he doesn't fucking understand shit. You can tell when he's just on the spot. He just keeps babbling, and he states the most obvious fucking things.
Oh, absolutely.
Which, oh god, there was one. He's like, "Oh, this is gonna be third and a whole yard." I'm like, yeah, Troy. That's what 3rd and 1 means. Said it's a whole yard.
So
that wasn't even the worst of it. God, I cannot stand
dude.
Troy. I cannot stand Troy and Joe Buck. Which I don't even blame Joe Buck. I've come to the recent realization, listening to him call like other things. Joe Buck he's not my favorite, but he's not terrible.
He's a good announcer. I like him.
It's the combination of Joe and Troy, and ultimately Troy Aikman is the biggest fucking dumbass on TV.
Yes.
Like, he doesn't even know what the fuck's going on half the time. He pisses me off, and they somehow always end up calling the Packers games. I don't know why.
I don't either. It's just amazing how they always call him. My one last take on this game as well. It is reported that OBJ went to Valdez Scantling and wanted to do a jersey swap.
No, Devontae Adams.
Oh, Devontae Adams. Sorry, it was Devontae Adams.
Okay, so you don't have the story straight. This was Adams had a interview with Michael Irvin, and Irv asked Devontae about like the whole Odell situation, because he was like rumored to potentially be going to the Packers. And Devontae goes, "Oh yeah, well we just talked like 2 days ago." And he was like, Odell was talking about, "Oh yeah, man, I need to get your jersey." And Devontae said, "Why don't you go swap with Cooper Kupp? Because clearly that's who you'd rather play with."
I love the pettiness. Love the pettiness and the victory.
I think that was somewhat of a joke. I don't think it was like legit, but I don't think they jersey swapped. So
I don't think they did. Maybe a little something there.
Yeah, it's okay. If I'm Devontae, I'd rather jersey swap with Cooper Kupp than OBJ.
Honestly though. Anyway,
Kupp's a better receiver, so
I don't have a lot to say about this next game, Noah. I just have a lot of disappointment in this game, Noah, because the one time I bet on the team that's colored purple because they love to choke, not joke. The Vikings and the 49ers. The 49ers win 34-26. Whoop-de fucking who for the worst team in the NFC West. Vikings lose. I mean, just disappointment all around, bro. I really thought the Vikings were going to, they put up a fight against the Cardinals. I thought they would have actually done some damage against the 49ers.
AJ, the Niners are only 1 game back from the Rams right now.
Don't even get me started. The NFC West is a fucking mess, dude.
You mean the best division in football? or at
Well,
least that's
yeah,
what, or at least that's the narrative everyone
still
was
is.
pushing at the start of
Still
the
is the
season.
best division in football. Are you kidding
No,
me?
I would argue through and through it's not. I mean, the top two, yeah, it's probably got best
Then what
one
is?
two, best 1-2 punch in football, not the best
What
through
is?
and through division.
What's the
You've
best
seen how bad
division?
you've seen how bad the Seahawks are. I told you the AFC West is better.
Okay. Sure.
If I take
Anyway,
the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Raiders, and the Broncos, I like that collectively. Collectively, I said the NFC West, I will say, has the best 1-2. They have the best top two. They're not through and through the best. Um, and then you got the AFC North too, with Baltimore, Cincy, Cleveland, and Pittsburgh. But this best division of football, the Packers are 4-0 against. So just saying.
anyway, thoughts on this game, Noah?
Probably 6-0 by the end. By the time the
Thoughts
playoffs
on
end.
this game, Noah?
Um, I mean, I picked the Niners. The Vikings did what they do in Vikings fashion, played another one-score game down to the wire. They love doing that, but I don't know, two mediocre teams. I don't know
Yep.
what else to say about it. It's just two mediocre teams. Both are going to be in the hunt for those that 6 and 7 seed. One of these two teams will probably make the playoffs, maybe both, but I'd assume at least one of these two makes the playoffs. I don't have too much else to say other than these are just
neither do I.
these are two just very average teams
Yeah.
that played somewhat of an exciting game. It actually looks like, but I didn't care. I wasn't watching.
Fair enough. Moving on to probably the most boring Sunday night game that we've had all season. You got the Browns visiting the Ravens. Ravens winning 16-10. Under was beautiful in this game. I really thought Lamar Jackson was going to show up a little bit more. He seems to have transitioned into wanting to be a pocket quarterback more than a running quarterback.
You're in the ball a lot tonight, though.
He did run a lot tonight, but not as much as I'm used to seeing.
17 carries for 68 yards on the ground.
Oh, wow. Never mind. A little bit more than I thought. It just didn't seem as much. Shout out to
also threw 4 picks.
True.
And still won the game.
Not impressive.
The Browns are still a poverty franchise.
Yeah. They are, unfortunately.
I think tonight's game cements it. I mean, obviously the 13-10 win over the Lions last week kind of maybe that cemented it, but how are you going to lose a game 16-10 when you force 4 interceptions?
I couldn't tell you.
And I just want to confirm this. Yeah, they win the turnover battle 4-2, and they lose 16-10.
Damn.
The inability of their offense to move the ball and score the ball is ridiculous. That offense is so flat. And the Ravens don't even have that good of a pass defense. And yeah, I think at this point the Browns, I mean, they're sitting at 6-6, but I think they missed the playoffs.
Oh, I do too at this point. They're not touching the playoffs at this point. There's no chance. They're not performing at the level. Baker Mayfield is way too beat up. He needs to be benched before he actually has a season-ending injury. It's unbelievable what he's going through right now. But at the same time, Ravens not looking too impressive whatsoever. Shout out to them, though, kicking that field goal.
Best record in the AFC.
That's true, but not impressive. They made the best record, but they're not impressive.
But you know what I like about the Ravens? They routinely keep finding ways to win games. And they are not winning pretty this year at all.
No.
But they're 8-3, and most weeks they find ways to win.
True.
I mean, they've had a lot of ugly wins, but ugly wins still count the same as blowout wins. I mean, this Ravens team has won in every single which way this year. They've had offensive blowouts. They've had really close down to the. I mean, beating the Lions on a 66-yard game-winning field goal.
Yeah.
Just teams got grit,
They do.
and
They do.
I think I was gonna say I think the Ravens might be my favorite team in the AFC, but I can't even make that distinction right now because there's
Ooh.
I can't even because you got. I think the AFC is going to be a crapshoot in the playoffs.
Yeah, no, it definitely will be, and I think we're just seeing that in the regular season. The AFC is a crapshoot. I do want to shout out the Ravens really quick, kicking that field goal within 2 minutes of the end of the game in order to cover the spread. Thank you guys. Really appreciate it. Noah, any thoughts on the late slate slash part of the early slate we covered on this day?
Um, I mean, other than the fact that like this week has provided even more confusion to me with the AFC,
Yeah.
I don't fucking get it whatsoever. I think I have a lot more clarity on the NFC though,
Yeah.
which at this point really feels like the Packers and the Cardinals are the two best teams.
They absolutely are. Their records prove it. The way
But
they play
I mean,
proves it.
right? Because Dallas losing another one. It's 3 out of 4 now. Um, they're maybe not as quite as good as we thought they would be. The Rams have been struggling as of late. Not to say, I mean, they have the talent that they can totally snap it together and make a deep playoff push.
Yeah.
But until they start playing better, got to be a little skeptical on them. Feels like this is, as of now, and Tampa has not looked, their defense is looking very suspect. So, I mean, it really does feel like it should be a Cardinals-Packers rematch in the NFC Championship as of now.
I definitely
And
see it, bro.
obviously, we got a good month and a half left of the regular season. A lot can change. You have injuries. People can start finding their groove, really hitting things off. But as of now, it really feels like the two best teams in the NFL are the Cardinals and the Packers, which I know we can both collectively celebrate.
Yes.
Um, winning is
Not
fun.
me
Winning is
just
fun.
trying to angle my Cardinals jersey to show the logo, but
Yeah, so I will see, and I'm sure things will change over the last 5-6 weeks
yeah.
here. They always do. New developments occur, but I gotta say, AJ, I do feel like the top 3, even 4 teams in the NFL are all in the NFC this year.
Oh, absolutely. I think the real, and I think
Which
we've talked about this before,
the
the real Super Bowl this year isn't going to be the Super Bowl. The two best teams in the league is going to be in the NFC Championship game. That's
maybe
going to be
not
the
even.
real
I
Super
mean,
Bowl.
I we might get the best game of the playoffs in like the divisional round of the NFC
True. I didn't think about that.
because I mean, if you got Tampa Bay or the Rams going into Arizona or Green Bay in the second round of the playoffs, I mean
Whew.
that's gonna be a tough fought game.
It's going to be very tough. Very tough. But you know what, Noah? We're going to be here to cover it. We're here for all of it. I'm all here for all the drama, here for everything going on. And if you missed us covering the morning slate and the Thanksgiving games, go back, watch part 1. We also covered the week in college football. And guess what? We're going to be back later this week with more degenerate picks, locks, and bets on degenerate bets. So you have that to look forward to as well. Also, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Degenerate Takes, TikTok at Degenerate Takes 69. And like, share, subscribe. We need it. Algorithms. I've told you, they're evil. Let's keep it moving. Give me a like, give me a share. Give me a subscribe. That's all we're asking. We're not asking for much. We're not asking for money yet. Hopefully, we'll ask for money soon, but that's probably down the road. With that being said, we will see you next time on.
Don't shy away from sending us money if you want to.
No, yeah, you want to send us money. I mean,
if
just
you want to send
comment
us money,
down below.
I'll gladly give my Venmo at if you want to send money. Just
You know
hit
what?
me up, slide into my DMs. If you want to send me money, I will gladly take it. I'll give you a couple free college basketball picks. Well, not free because you're paying for them, but whatever. They're probably all losers, but you never know.
At _Engelbretson on Twitter. And if you comment
I don't lose
down
in
below,
college basketball. I don't lose in college basketball.
No, you don't. But if you comment down below and want to donate money, I'll send you a shirt. It's a loser, but I'll send you a shirt. Simple as that. Anyway,
one of a kind. One of a kind.
One of a kind. Honest to God, one of a kind. And it's not the one that I ripped. Anyway, we will see you next time on.
Unless you want the one that ripped.
Unless you want the one that ripped. I think I have
it. Comment that you want that and Venmo AJ $2.50.
$3.50. The shirt costs $3.50 at least.
$5.75. Done deal.
$5.75. I make 25% profit. We love to see it. Anyway, we will see you next time on Degenerate Takes.